Good morning, students. Today's topic is practical transformer on load condition. So, in previous lecture, we have discussed about losses in transformer and practical transformer on no load condition. So now we know that in ideal transformer there is no losses occurs, but in practical transformer there are losses like copper losses, core losses, and leakage flux is also available in practical transformer. Okay. Now, we know that in practical transformer on no load condition, we have not connected any load on secondary winding. It means that secondary winding of practical transformer is open, then we can say that practical transformer is working on no load condition. Now, we will discuss about practical transformer on load condition. See here, first of all, we can see the figure of practical transformer on load condition. So this is the figure. See here, primary winding, secondary winding. Here load is connected at secondary winding. It means that this practical transformer is working on load condition. So now we will see that how that load affects the performance on the transformer. So first of all, we will start with loaded transformer. When transformer is loaded, secondary current I2 is set up. Keep in mind that I2 is current flowing in the secondary winding of transformer. Now, we know that V2 is secondary voltage. I2 is current flowing in secondary winding. So now, depending on the connected load, there are three phasor diagram which we will discuss after some time. So first case, if load is resistive, see here, if load is resistive, then we can say that current I2 is in phase with V2. Same way, if load is inductive, it means that or both winding has resistive and inductive load, then we can say that current I2 lags the voltage V2 by some angle. Same way, if load is capacitive, so when load is capacitive, we know that current I2 leads voltage V2 by some angle. Okay, so these three are characterization according to the connected load on practical transformer. Again, I revise. When resistive load is there, I2 is in phase with V2. We know that when load is inductive, then I2 lags V2. And when load is capacitive, then I2 leads V2. So keep in mind these three sentences. Now, we move ahead towards the working. So when secondary current I2 set up its MMF, stands for magnetomotive force, is Ni. So for secondary winding, N2I2. When secondary current sets up its own EMF, MMF, then it produces flux phi2. So flux phi2 is flux produced in secondary winding due to that secondary current I2. Now, but that flux phi2 is in opposition to the main primary flux phi1. See here, in ideal transformer, we have discussed that all flux of primary winding links with the secondary winding, but in case of practical transformer, this primary flux phi1 is in opposition with the flux produced in secondary winding phi2. So according to Lenz law, we know that flux phi1 is due to the main current I0 which is flowing in the primary winding. Now see here what will happen. Secondary flux phi2 weakens the main flux and hence primary back EMF tends to be reduced. It means that the secondary flux phi2 reduces the back EMF. So now for a moment that primary voltage V1 gains upper hand over V1 and hence it causes the addition current I2 dash to flow in primary winding. This is very important sentence. When this phi2 weakens the primary flux phi momentarily, hence primary back EMF tends to be reduced. So due to that, V1 gains upper hand on E1. V1 is voltage at primary winding and E1 is EMF induced in primary winding. Due to that, I2 dash to flow in primary winding. So in primary winding, there are two currents now. First is I0 and second is I2 dash. So in primary winding, we can say that now two currents will flow through the primary winding, I0 and I2 dash. Now, see here, this flux phi2 dash is due to the MMF N1 I2 dash. Why N1 I2 dash? Because that flux phi2 dash is in primary winding. That's why we are considering number of turns of primary winding and current which is opposite to the I2. So that's why here N1 I2 dash is MMF and flux produced phi2 dash is due to that N1 I2 dash. But we know that both that flux are equal but opposite in direction. Phi2 dash is equal to phi2 but is in opposite direction. So here we have N1 I2 dash equals to N2 I2. If we make subject I2 dash, then we have N2 by N1 into I2. So I2 dash equals to KI2. So we can say that I2 dash is equal to I2 but in opposite direction with the I2. Now see here. So I2 dash is known as load component of primary current and this current is in anti-phase with I2. So now we have primary current I1 as I0 plus I2 dash. This both current will flow in primary winding and I1 is nothing but the current in primary winding is the addition of I0 plus I2 dash. Now we will move towards the important aspect of that practical transformer on load condition. This is the phasor diagram. So there are three phasor diagram. See here. Now we will discuss that three fluxes. See here. I0 is main primary current in primary winding. Due to that flux phi is produced is outer side. It is main flux phi. Next, see this inner flux, middle flux phi2. Phi2 due to the secondary MMF N2 I2. Okay, and see that inner flux phi2 dash. So phi2 dash is opposite to the phi2. So phi2 dash is in primary winding linked with the primary winding and I2 dash current is due to that inner flux phi2 dash. So there are three fluxes, main flux phi, middle flux phi2 due to secondary EMF and that inner phi2 dash is due to the I2 dash. Okay, now phasor diagram. So this is the first phasor diagram for resistive load. See here, we know that V1 equals to minus E1, I2, E1, E2 it is according to the transformer conditions. But see here, I0 is the primary current. Okay. Now I2 dash is exactly in opposition to I2, and we know that what is I1. So I1 is the addition of I0 and I2 dash. So according to this parallelogram, this is the diagonal represents I1. I1 is nothing but the addition of I0 and I2 dash. So first of all, in resistive load, we know that that current I2 is in phase with V2 or E2. That's why I2 is here. Okay. Now see in next diagram, when inductive load is there, see here, when inductive load is there, first of all you have to draw this current I2. When inductive load is there, I2 lags V2 by some angle phi. Okay, so I2 lags V2 by some angle phi 2, and now draw the opposite to I2 is I2 dash. So this is I2 dash. Okay, now addition of I2 dash and I0 is nothing but I1. So this is the parallelogram, and this is the final primary current I1, which is addition of I0 and I2 dash. Same way, when we discuss the phasor diagram of capacitive load, so you have to draw first of all this I2. So we know that in capacitive load, I2 leads V2 or E2 by phi 2. Now you have to draw exact opposite I2 dash, and I0 is remaining same. So I0 and I2 dash. So draw this parallelogram, and this is the I1. I1 is the vector addition of I2 dash and I0. So here, keep in mind, in all these three phasor diagram, you have to mention these three fluxes. This is phi 0, this is phi 2 dash, and this is phi 1 due to that I1. Okay, so these are three phasor diagram. This is very important theory for your exams. So again, I revise some important aspects of that practical transformer on load condition. So first of all, these three are the conditions. Load is connected to the secondary. It is resistive, inductive or capacitive. Depends on the load. Same way, next, due to that I2, flux phi 2 occurs in secondary winding. But now what will happen? This flux phi 2 weakens the main flux, and hence primary back EMF tends to be reduced. So at that time V1 gains over E1, and so due to that additional current I2 dash to flow in primary winding, and this I2 dash is exactly in opposition to I2. So now we know that phi 2 dash is equal to phi 2. This is MMF N1 I2 dash. This is N2 I2, and I2 dash equals to KI2. Okay. Now you have to keep in mind that relation, important relation about the total primary current I1 equal is nothing but the addition of I0 and I2 dash. And this is the figure of practical transformer on load condition. Here I0 plus I2 dash is I1, total current in primary winding, and I2 is current in secondary winding, and these three flux phi, phi 2 and phi 2 dash. Now the three phasor diagrams. For resistive load, V2 is in phase with I2, and now draw the parallelogram and find this resultant component I1. Same way, for inductive load, I2 is lags V2 by phi 2, and draw this opposite I2 dash, and this parallelogram you will find I1 as addition of I0 and I2 dash. and same is repeat for capacity load. Only in capacity load I2 leads phi 2. So finally we have I1 equals to I0 plus I2 dash. So this is all about practical transformer on load condition. Thank you.